Today I'm going to teach you how to color select an image in Photoshop. It's a way to create a black and white image and then bring back some of the color in a particular area. So I'm going to start with this image that I did not take, that was sourced off the internet. And I'm going to follow the same workflow as my other color images, and then I want this to be a decently colored image with either the traditional color correction or maybe you want to add your own spin on it. In this case, it was color corrected to my liking, and now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn it into a black and white image. Now, a little note here is that once you turn it into a black and white image using your black and white filter, you want to make sure that you tweak this image to have a nice range of darks and lights and that it has good contrast as a traditional black and white image. You don't just want to throw the filter on there and call it a day. Now if I go back to my layers palette, you'll see that my black and white filter is put onto this image. And I'm going to go into my toolbox on the left hand side and I'm going to select the brush tool. You can hit B on your keyboard to get your brush. And in this case, I'm going to start with a soft edge brush. My drop down menu is up here at the top. And I'm going to change the opacity down. You don't have to, but just for starters, at about a 60%. Now you'll notice that I have a no smoking sign on my cursor. What that means is that it's not going to allow me to actually apply the black pixels until I go over to my layers palette and I select the mask. Everything that we create in terms of adjustments in this class is going to be a mask. We're going to navigate through the black and white cookie, and then by painting on this mask with black, we are allowed to kind of take away the effect that is created. In this case, it's a black and white filter. Now you'll see when I go back to my image and I'm painting on this, it is taking away the black and white filter. You'll get a little icon on the right hand side or a preview of what's happening. Because this is not at 100%, it's a little bit softer. However, if I go to 100%, and I paint on the right hand side, I'll zoom in here, you'll see that that's a little bit stronger. If I go down to 20% or 12%, it's faint. So you can use this opacity slider to kind of get the desired effect that you want. I have a very soft edge brush, which I tend to think makes a nice fluid effect. However, if you really want to get in there and make it perfect to the line, you can zoom in. You can make your brush smaller. In this case, I've changed it to a hard edge brush. If you've got good hand control, you can go in and paint using your brush. Tend to think that sometimes when you have a hard edge brush, it's a little less forgiving than if you have a softer brush, but really it's going to come down to your preference. I'm going to go in here and finish out this flower quickly. Quick as I can. Paint on here. And then the nice thing about this is if I make a mistake, let's say I go off the edge of the flower, up in the top right hand corner and down here in the bottom. The reverse of taking away the filter by adding black pixels, I can go to my toolbox here and I can now apply white pixels and it will bring the mask back. So if you make a mistake, we often think, okay, let's erase it, but that doesn't necessarily apply when we're masking. It's your black brush to take away the adjustment and your white brush or white pixels to bring it back. Right. I'm going to zoom out. Now I have a color selection here. You might decide that you want to go in and take this a step further and manipulate it a little bit more. I'm going to dim down my opacity, and I've pretty much at 100%. Have tried as best I can to bring this flower to life, but maybe I want to bring in some of the area of the background with a faint application at like 30%. The black brush, make it a little bit bigger so you don't necessarily see the brush strokes. And now I can, almost like I'm applying gray because it's not at 100%. You can even see in my layers palette how I have the black pixels at full strength right on that rose to kind of bring your eye in the focus, and then I have the 31% black brush, which is almost like a gray application, in the background. And that is how you color select.